Hello everyone, welcome again to my GPA videos with material that can be useful for students pursuing tertiary education, particularly those who have challenges coping with academic life, those who have difficulties in a specific subject area, maybe getting past the introduction on a research paper, or even understanding the research process. This series, I hope, will be helpful for you. And with each video, I will focus on one topic with key points that can be applied to some aspect of your journey. But before I get into today's video, I must say thank you. Thank you for the overwhelming support and feedback. I cherish the feedback because it is important for me, for my personal growth, for my professional development. I admit doing these videos is way out of my comfort zone. But the minute I completed the first one, I felt so good. I felt like I can take on the world. And it's the same thing I said to a student over the weekend during a tutorial. I said to her, there's so many obstacles that we busy ourselves with, and rather than take charge, we become preoccupied with the what ifs and everything that is in the way. And I said to her, you've reached this far. Do what you must to finish. The same about these videos. Now that I've started, I have a responsibility to finish and to see it to the end. There are challenges in life. There's no guarantee that it will get easier anytime soon. But what we need to do is to take charge of what we have control over. Find out what we have control over. Work with the support that is available and finish. Over the weekend during this tutorial, I was discussing the challenges that the student has with finishing her paper in time for May, June. We talked about meeting the deadline and, school-related problems. But at some point, we ended up talking about her domestic situation. And it turns out that that might be the key source of her stress. And it may be the main obstacle to her progress. So we talked a lot about it, and thankfully we ended on a positive note, and the follow-up is also very positive, and she's looking forward to finishing that research paper and graduating. And that brings me to what this video is about. The topic for today is about taking control. I think it's a great starting point because for all the skills that we may possess, if we don't take control of our situation, if we don't take control of ourselves, we can find ourselves in difficulties along the way. We suffer with undue stress and anxieties. So today I want to share two key concepts about taking control. One is the circle of influence. The other is the locus of control. The circle of influence and control is a tool created by best-selling author Stephen Covey, author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. According to Stephen, the circle of influence and control is a tool that is useful for separating priorities, determining which priorities high, which priorities low. And it's about taking ownership of our actions. The circle of influence incorporates those concerns that we can do something about and concerns that we have control over. So your circle of concern is what contains everything that you are worried about at the moment. Question: how big is your circle? What is in your circle? Maybe it's the assignments that are due. it might be a group project, maybe group members, maybe a class, may not even be school related, it might be your health, it might be money, your job, whatever you're concerned about goes into your circle of control. Now, your circle of influence contains matters that you can actually change. The things that you have influence over and the problems that you can do something about. According to Covey, having an awareness of your circles is helpful for working out where to focus your efforts and energy and to rearrange your priorities. Why is this good? The circle of influence is a great tool because it's a good coping mechanism. When you feel out of control, take time out. Write down what is making you feel this way. Why am I so anxious? Take a good look at that list and decide what can you change in whatever way, however small. I think it's also important to understand your locus of control. The locus of control was developed by Julian Rutter, an American psychologist known for developing influential theories, including social learning theory and locus of control. According to Rutter, locus of control plays an important role in motivating, learning, and development. Again, according to Rutter, a locus of control orientation is a belief about whether the outcomes of our actions are contingent on what we do, which is your internal control orientation, as opposed to your external control orientation, which is the belief that events outside our personal control, outside our personal realm, is what influences our actions or is what determines our fate. Studies have shown that students who show internal locus of control tendencies know that their academic success depends on them, and they pay more attention to everything, to every detail of information that can inform and influence them to reach their targets. Your locus of control can influence not only how you respond to events, but to everything that happens in your life. It also relates to motivation. It motivates you to take action when you understand what lies in your circle or in your control realm. If you believe that you hold the keys to your fate, you are more likely to take action and to change your situation. If on the other hand you believe that the outcome is out of your hands, you may less likely work towards change, which means you are less likely to look for a solution internally to find ways to attack whatever issues are facing you, whatever is causing you to meet obstacles, whatever is causing you to stall. When it comes to the internal locus of control, there are some characteristics that have been noted in research. We talk about persons who have internal locus of control being more likely to take responsibility for their actions. Persons tend to be less influenced by the opinions of others, which is not the same as being dismissive or being insensitive to other people's opinions and critique, but it's about not bogging yourself down with what others believe and having that belief dictate now your potential. Again, those with an internal locus of control often do better at tasks when they are allowed to work at their own pace, so that These persons, they don't rely on external control mechanisms. They are motivated by their inner energy. They are motivated by their initiative and their sense of self and a strong sense of self-efficacy. Self-efficacy being the belief that you can accomplish a task, the belief that you can achieve whatever you set out to achieve. Again, going down the list, internal locus of control, persons who possess such, they tend to work hard to achieve the things they want. They feel confident in the face of challenges. They tend to be physically healthier, which is not about physical appearance. It's about having a positive disposition, having a positive outlook on life. It's about well-being. These people often achieve greater success also in the workplace, as opposed to those who have an external locus of control tend to blame outside forces for their circumstances. We know people who will find a list of things that happen to them, a list of things that are responsible for what they are going through, without focusing on what part they may be contributing to their present situation. And these people don't believe that they can change their situation through their own efforts. They frequently feel hopeless or powerless in the face of difficult situations. Now, I'm not going to ask anybody to administer any self-assessment. I think though it's necessary to be aware of these two concepts as a tool or part of your toolkit in reassessing your position as far as pursuing academic excellence. See where you need to revisit within and take charge of whatever issues and whatever challenges, whatever the obstacles to your growth. Take charge, assess yourself, reflect. Keep in mind that you cannot change everything. Chances are you will not even be able to clear half of the list of issues. As a matter of fact, your circle of concern is likely to be larger than your circle of influence. But the idea is to make adjustments, refocus your energies, and go at it again. Take charge. We will talk about this further, and there are other related issues with self-motivation, again, self-efficacy. All these things will be addressed. But for now, as I said, we are still at the introductory stage in this mentoring and training exercise, this tutoring process, and I look forward to continuing with you. I hope that this video helps, and like I said, we've started, we must finish. Everyone, be safe, be blessed.